committed to you. Fox Carolina, the Morning News starts now.
My child, my choice, one of the many signs we're seeing out here at Anderson District 5 where parents are protesting a vaccine incentive. We'll tell you more coming up.
And one of the largest cities in South Carolina will require employees to get the COVID vaccine. It's all new this morning.
Plus, as we dry out and see a little more sunshine, we're getting a taste of some fall temperatures coming up. I'll let you know just how cool it could get.
Good morning, everyone. It's Thursday, September 2nd. I'm Margaret Ann Carter along with Victoria Carmen, meteorologist Nicole Papay, traffic reporter Chris Scott, all here. Kylie has the morning off. Thanks for joining us. And it's a crisp start to our morning.
Yes,
crisp.
nice
That's getting cold. 59's cold.
I'm telling you, yeah.
Oh,
Not so much this morning, but here's the thing. We're going to still have very warm days. It's just the overnights that are going to get cool.
Hey, well, that's when I'm outside coming into work, so.
That's right, exactly.
That's all I care about.
Kind of a nice transition into full-on fall that will happen for us in another month or so. But right now, temperatures do sit in the 50s and 60s for the mountains. We've got 60s and low 70s here in the upstate. There's a bit more of a crisp feel to the air today, but tonight into tomorrow morning, it's going to drop really almost even 10 degrees in some spots. So tomorrow morning is going to feel a lot cooler than this. Right now, high pressure sits to our north. We are looking at a lot of clear sky through the day today, and lower humidity means a comfortable afternoon, even as temperatures get to 85 in the upstate and 79 in western North Carolina. Not so bad out there for those who have to spend the whole day outside. This kind of pleasant weather will last all the way through Saturday with some cooler nights ahead. Labor Day, Monday of next week, that's what we're looking at, the small rain chance to build back into the Carolinas. I'll tell you more about that coming up in a couple of minutes. Chris, how are the roads?
Right in the middle of rush hour right now. We're getting a traffic alert for a couple of new accidents. Let me tell you about those real quickly. 385 northbound, exit 27 Fairview Road, and up in the Pickens County area, Shady Grove Road at Walhalla Highway 183. Still seeing the accident at Anderson, Greenville, and Spartanburg County. No injuries reported at Shockley Ferry and Seminole Avenue this morning. Also, we're looking at one at Old Easley Bridge Road at Cooper Street. That's in the Greenville County area. There are injuries reported. EMS has been called to the scene. And then in Spartanburg County, 3 accidents: Shiloh Church Road, Dennis Hills Drive, Fair Forest at Access Road, and Old Converse at C Road this morning. As we take a live look at the Pelham Road at 85 exit, looking at southbound traffic really starting to back up from exit 51 back to about exit 56 and 7 at the airport. Mac?
Well, we begin with breaking news out of Franklin County, Georgia. That's where a man is in custody right now following a deadly shooting inside an apartment. The police chief says 2 men got into an argument and one of them pulled a gun. This is video you'll only see here on Fox outside of the Royston townhouses on Spring Street. Neighbors tell us that this was a domestic situation. GBI was called in to investigate. It is the first deadly shooting of the year in Royston. Now to breaking news out of Greenville County, where deputies are searching for a driver who bailed on a traffic stop. This is also video you'll only see here on Fox. Our crews captured this scene along Elm Street. We immediately reached out to dispatchers who told us that an officer attempted to pull over an impaired driver along Augusta Street when the driver fled. We're told that there was a brief pursuit ending in a crash right here on Elm Street. Deputies are still looking for that driver. We'll, of course, continue to update you with new details as they develop.
Developing this morning, heartbreaking news from the Midlands. Twin babies were found dead inside of a car parked at a daycare. This is the scene outside of Sunshine House Early Learning Academy in Blythewood. Richland County deputies discovered the infant boys last night. Just so many questions remain about what exactly happened to those twins, but we do expect to get an update from investigators sometime later today. Fox Carolina is your school station. Some Anderson County parents protesting this morning, and their concern, a new vaccine incentive program for high school students. Fox Carolina's Grace Runkle live there outside the Anderson 5 district office. And Grace, we continue to see more and more people show up this morning.
Yeah, that's right. More parents and community members keep coming out, and you'll probably start to hear the horns honking any second now, because that's what we've really been hearing a lot of this morning. If you can kind of take a look, you can see they're all stretched out down both sides here in front of the school district office. You can see we've got all kinds of signs. A lot of people saying stop the bribes. You can't buy our kids. Our kids are worth more than $100, because this is all about that $100 vaccine incentive that the district is offering students at the high school level. So this is a new program. The superintendent announced it last week, and almost immediately following that announcement, parents took to Facebook, created a group, and that's the group that planned this protest this morning. Now, we've been talking with parents, and there are really all kinds of community members here, even some homeschool families. But one woman we spoke to tells us that for her, this is about what she's calling the bribe, offering kids $100 to get vaccinated. She says she cannot stand for that.
You have people who don't have time to come out here and do this, just like I'll be leaving shortly to go to work myself. You need to be the voice for the community.
Administration, beep your horn.
And the superintendent actually has a sign-up sheet out this morning, and he has different openings cleared throughout the day when he set aside time for people to sign up and come talk with him one-on-one. Last I checked, no one had signed up for any of those appointments just yet, but we are actually going to be talking to him ourselves at 9 o'clock, so you're going to want to stick with us all day long for continuing coverage. Back to you.
All right, Grace. Lots to look at there. Thank you. Meanwhile, in Lawrence County, a surge in COVID cases forcing a few schools to temporarily switch to e-learning. The change will impact students at Great Court Ownings, Hickory Tavern, Lawrence 55 High School. Virtual classes start tomorrow. They'll go through September 9th. Students will receive enough bagged meals to last them the 3 days. The district's other 6 schools will stick with in-person learning. And an important update for parents in Greenville County, the district changing the way that they notify you about COVID-19 cases in your child's classroom. So instead of an automated phone call, they're going to email you through the backpack communication system. The only thing you need to do is make sure you create and activate an account. So it's important to know your school will still make a personal phone call if your student is a close contact and needs to quarantine.
We're no longer going to do the phone blasts, but we need parents who, for whatever reason, don't have a backpack account to follow the instructions that we put out today that's on our website, and go ahead and set one up.
I definitely think it's a good idea that they're switching it up to make it much more targeted so that we're not causing alarm among people that really have no reason to be alarmed.
So what better time than right now to create your account while we're talking about it? The district will switch to email notifications September 13th, so you have a little bit of time. We have a full breakdown of how you can do that at foxcarolina.com. New this hour, one of South Carolina's largest cities making the vaccine mandatory for its employees. North Charleston Mayor Keith Summer announced the decision in a video posted on the city's social media pages. He said, quote, "It's not easy for me to do something like this, but at the end of the day, my responsibility is to try to maintain the health and well-being of my employees." We saw more than 3,500 cases confirmed across the state just yesterday. The mandate applies to all employees, volunteers, and interns, full and part-time.
And we're following a news alert from our live desk. Relentless rain from the remnants of Hurricane Ida and the flooding that came with it sent New York and New Jersey into states of emergency early this morning as the storm carried north. This is a live look right now that we want to show you in the Big Apple. You can see it's a much calmer scene. Governors Hochul and Murphy declared a state of emergency late last night as the National Weather Service also warned waterlogged New Jersey was at risk of tornadoes. A devastating situation. This really puts it into perspective. Dozens of photos, videos, all like this from social media coming in, showing water pouring into New York City's subways. The service was extremely limited on lines due to the weather. Other videos showed completely flooded streets, and at last check, the storm has killed at least 8 people between the 2 states. Ida, now a tropical storm, expected to take aim at the northeastern United States for the next several days. Meanwhile, in Washington, President Biden is expected to deliver remarks today on the administration's response to Hurricane Ida. He will also visit Louisiana tomorrow as the state works to recover there. Right now, more than 1 million homes and businesses are without power in the Gulf Coast states, and officials say it could take weeks for electricity to be restored. President Biden said that more than 5,000 members of the National Guard have been activated to support search and rescue and recovery efforts on the ground.
Later this morning, Governor McMaster and the DOT will hold a press conference about a major road project. It will impact drivers who travel across South Carolina, but we don't have a lot of details right now. We know we'll learn more this morning. Of course, we'll keep you up to date. We'll cover it during the 10 o'clock news. The governor will be speaking off I-26 in Lexington County, and you can also watch that inside of our free Fox Carolina News app.
Now today's big weather story, we are watching what is now remnants of Ida off into the Northeast and New England. The system, like Margaret Ann just mentioned, slammed New York, Pennsylvania, and New Jersey yesterday, and now is pushing into areas of the Northeast and Mid-Atlantic. We do continue to watch for some flash flooding throughout Boston, Cape Cod, and areas of Connecticut and Rhode Island. So that's something of concern right now, but that storm system will move offshore and become a non-threat by tonight. We're also watching Larry. This is a newly formed hurricane right now. Between yesterday and today, we are starting to see some strengthening with this storm. It's expected to become a Category 2 by tomorrow, a Category 3 over the weekend, possibly a Category 4 by early next week. Good news, though, is that the track keeps it out over open water during that time frame. We can't completely keep this one out of our minds, though. We could see some potential impacts if it gets close enough to the East Coast late next week. I'll have a lot more on that coming up in a few minutes. Margaret Ann.
And breaking news this morning about COVID booster shots. We've got a better idea of when they could be available.
That's an important safety message for your family if you're hitting the road this Labor Day weekend. And a look at your winning lotto numbers from yesterday. Your midday numbers, your pick 3, 291, your pick 4, 4, 2, 5, 8, and your fireball is 2. Your evening numbers, pick 3, 859, pick 4, 5, 8, 1, 1, your fireball is 9, and your cash 5, 1, 6, 18, 24, 29, and 2 is your multiplier. And here are your Powerball numbers, 10, 20, 29, 48, 51, and 17.
You're watching Fox Carolina, the morning news.
Good morning and welcome back. You're taking a live look right now, I-85, right in front of our station, actually, right off of Pelham Road here, where you can see the big Fox Carolina billboard out there. Of course, traffic moving along smoothly at this morning hour, smoothly and slowly out there as folks are getting their Thursday started. Chris Scott watching things for you as well, so just be careful and watch out for anything that might be out on your roads. We're following a news alert out of Afghanistan now, where Taliban leaders are expected to unveil their new government today, now that no American troops are in the country for the first time in 20 years. This is a look at the flags that will be used in the upcoming ceremony. Taliban members continued their celebration Wednesday with a military parade of captured weapons. However, Pentagon officials say that the U.S. military made all gear left behind, quote, unusable. Now, what's next for the Taliban's governing power and how will they be recognized on an international level remains to be seen, but it's something that we'll be watching closely.
Well, Fox Carolina is committed to you the 100 Deadly Days of Summer on its home stretch this Labor Day weekend. Both North and South Carolina Highway Patrol will be out on the roads. Fox Carolina's Lindsay Gibbs live from Spartanburg County this morning with more on what drivers can expect this weekend, Lindsay.
Yeah, Tor, there's going to be checkpoints set up all across the upstate. Highway Patrol says there's going to be an increase of law enforcement out on the roadways. So as you head out to your Labor Day plans, they say to make sure you take some precautions like this. AAA says to make sure you have your navigation set up before you head out on the roadways. Now, this is all after as the summer comes to an end. The official summer end is Labor Day weekend, but it's also the final push for the Highway Patrol 100 Deadly Days of Summer campaign. Security checkpoints like the ones that you see here will be placed throughout the upstate to keep drunk and drugged drivers off the roadways and to minimize distracted driving. Highway Patrol tells us these are the most common causes of accidents during the 100 Deadly Days of Summer. So far this year, Highway Patrol reports there have been 670 fatal crashes on South Carolina roadways, with 7 of those people killed just last weekend alone. North and South Carolina Highway Patrol were brought together in their annual Hands Across the Border event Wednesday night. And we were there speaking to Highway Patrol officials about preparing for the traffic this weekend. This morning, we also spoke to a man who drove here for the holiday weekend from Florida. We spoke to him about people on the roadways. Take a listen.
Coming up, you see people on their cell phones and everything, even on the interstate. And, I see that and I think to myself, don't do that.
And now, of course, coming up in the next half hour, we're going to have more ways to avoid distracted driving from AAA. Spoiler, a lot of them involve putting your phone away. Back to you.
Fox Carolina weather. Weather Rate certified most accurate local forecast.
Temperatures right now are cooler than they were this time yesterday morning and really earlier in the week as well. It's down into the 50s and lower 60s in the mountains. We've got 60s and low 70s in the upstate. So it's not a huge difference, but here's the thing. Tonight into tomorrow morning, it could drop 10 degrees in spots from where it is right now, especially for the upstate. Really going to have a difference by tomorrow morning. The dew points are also going down. The lower humidity is on the way. Dew points are in the 50s for the mountains now, low to mid 60s here in the upstate. That's still even just a touch humid in a few spots, but we are on our way to that dew point dropping and getting us back to more of that crisp and pleasant fall air that we love to feel. It's all due to this high pressure system building in out of the north. It's giving us a breeze out of the north and east. So locally, it's going to be a very, very nice day. We've already got the sunshine dominating. The couple clouds we see are on their way out. And so highs today will still have a nice chance to get warm at 85 degrees, but it'll be pleasant with low humidity. North Carolina today likely staying in the upper 70s, feeling really comfortable with a light breeze. So rating your day, the Carolina Sky Meter is up to a perfect 10, and I'm calling it this way, a perfect 10 today, tomorrow, and for Saturday. That means we've got great conditions leading you all the way into Friday night football. High school is getting back to the fields this Friday night. We'll have great conditions, 78 at kickoff, 70 at halftime. These temperatures will drop into the 60s by the end of the game. So if you're in the stands, you may actually want a light jacket with you Friday night if you're cheering on your favorite team. Over the weekend, Saturday still looks great and sunny. Sunday might bring a brief mountain shower late in the afternoon. And then Monday for Labor Day. This is, of course, a 3-day weekend for a lot of people. Monday still looks good for the most part. You'll have plenty of dry time, but spots of rain will start to pop up from midday into the afternoon. It shouldn't be a washout, but just have a rain plan for 20-30 minutes if a pop-up shower comes near you. We're also watching the tropics. Luckily, it's not a threat for the East Coast over the next 7 days for this storm, but Larry is strengthening. The Category 1 hurricane is expected to become a Category 3 or possibly Category 4 by early next week. It is out over open water. It's out to sea. It's not going to threaten land at least until Monday or Tuesday. We are watching it get closer, though, to Bermuda, the teeny tiny island out there. So we'll check on that next week, of course, and see where it goes from there as to whether it could impact any of the East Coast states. So we'll keep a close eye on Larry as it continues to move our way. Right now, we're looking at gorgeous conditions today, tomorrow, and Saturday. Temperatures during the day in the 70s and low 80s for the mountains, mid 80s for the upstate, but your nights stay nice and crisp, almost chilly in a few spots, especially tonight. Over the weekend, the heat starts to build once again. It'll feel more like summer by early next week.